sex is over, just roll over and go to sleep, right? No, actually. In this video, I'm going to answer a question from a client who has had great success giving his woman orgasms and wants to know if I have any tips for after sex play. What's up guys, Jason Julius here, and let's talk about some things to think about after sex for some after sex play. And in order to do that, I think we need to define, when does sex end? I think conventional wisdom might say that it's after the man ejaculates and sex is over, he rolls over, goes to sleep, and that's how the stereotypical story of sex goes, right? Well, as you probably know, as you've been giving your woman full body orgasms and giving her multiple orgasms, sex is not the linear story that it seems to be in popular culture. In fact, just because you ejaculate doesn't necessarily mean that sex is over, right? So one of the ways that I like to think about it is after you ejaculate, you have a new opportunity to just continue to give her more orgasms until she can't have any more orgasms, until she can't handle anymore, because she can have multiple orgasms in a row. Because after we ejaculate, and the oxytocin, the prolactins going in the brain, we have this refractory period where it makes it more difficult for us to get an erection again or ejaculate again. And that doesn't necessarily mean that we can't continue to stimulate her. I like to typically give my woman an orgasm, if not multiple orgasms, before sex begins, because it'll make her more likely, like 10 times more likely, to orgasm during sex, because she'll already be orgasmic. So then she'll hopefully have some orgasms during sex. And then afterwards, if she is still super turned on and wanting more, then we have the ability to continue to stimulate her digitally using our fingers with her G-spot, her A-spot, her clitoris. And we could even go back and continue oral sex, because women don't have that refractory period that inhibits them from continuing and having more orgasms. You could give your woman 10, 15, 20 orgasms in one night. And that's something to work up to. First you start with one, but if she hasn't had that orgasm during sex, you might take the time afterwards to continue to touch her and stimulate her and get her highly turned on. So all those things can kind of continue past your own ejaculation. After sex would typically be thought of as being over with, you have the opportunity to give her more orgasms. And typically what that might look like after you have given her, at least one or two orgasms, is she's gonna be, just like relieved afterwards, the same way that you would feel. And so once you both get to that point where you've had your orgasms, you're feeling amazing, what you want to do is take a little bit of time to connect after sex. And it doesn't have to take long, it could just be a couple minutes, but hopefully even longer. You can just look into each other's eyes and tell her how beautiful she is. And that may sound simplistic, but it actually goes a long ways in making her feel wanted, because there you have a moment where you're not telling her she's beautiful to get to sex. You're genuinely telling her, this person that you just connected with, that she's beautiful, and she's going to feel wanted. And that will carry into the next time that you have sex with her. So that goes, beyond just that moment. It makes her genuinely feel that from you. And what a great moment when you both have that oxytocin flowing in you to just stare into each other's eyes in admiration, to cuddle, to play around, to joke around, tickle her a little bit, or maybe even just give her a massage. How amazing is that after she's had that release, to then even go further and release the tension in her muscles so that she can just really be present with you and fully relaxed, and you're not doing it to get to sex, you're genuinely doing it for her. It's really what we do for other people that ultimately brings us joy in life. Yes, it's amazing for us to have sex and have our own orgasms, but as you mature in life, you realize that it's not about what you do for yourself, it's about what you do for other people. And if you're having this intimate moment with this woman that you genuinely care about, then you know, taking a little bit of time afterwards to cherish that, I would consider that to be the best after sex play that you can have. But again, it could be continuing to stimulate her all the way to just relaxing and looking into each other's eyes and cuddling and really admiring each other, or, you know, joking around and just being playful, all those types of things. So yes, it is definitely something to think about, you know, continuing on after, you know, sex. And the other thing is, you don't want to roll over and just be done. You want to take at least a few moments. Otherwise, that creates a really empty feeling in her. You know, if you just ejaculate and you roll over and sex is over with, there's just this void, this emptiness, and she's not going to be very enthusiastic about doing it again if you know, if there's always this void and lack of connection. So think of it that way as well. So hopefully you enjoyed this video. If you did, give it a thumbs up. If you have any questions, leave it in the comments below, and make sure that you subscribe, because I have a lot of really cool content coming up, and I will see you in the next video.